Hello parents. Today we're going to talk about what's kind of the strategies we've been talking about in class to help with subtraction. So to do that, we see here a picture of our base 10 blocks where we have our thousands cubes, our 100 flats, our 10 rods, and our 1 cubes. And that's what we call them here in class. And we've used those blocks to answer questions like this, where we have 34 minus 12, where the students bring out 3 rods and 4 1 cubes. And we'll go through and we try and take those away. Then we can come over and students will take away their 2 1 blocks and they'll take away their 10, and then they'll be left with 22 as their answer. We've also gone through and solved a problem like this, 32 minus 14. Where they'll have to go through and say, wait, they have 2 1 blocks, and they say, wait, we have to take away 4, but we don't have 4. So they trade in or decompose a 10 rod, and they go to the bank and have to take out 10, and they swap it out or regroup it for 10 1 blocks. Just like in addition where we were putting 10s together, in subtraction we're just taking that 10 rod and decomposing it. And we trade them in. Now the students can go through and take away the 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they also take away the other 10 rod. And thus they are left with 1 10 and 8 ones. And we've done that with the blocks quite a bit. Now we moved on to a different strategy that someone brought up in our class. And instead of going through and using the actual blocks, we were using our little tick marks to show our 10s and little boxes or circles to represent 1s. And in this case, instead of taking them or moving them away, we would just go through and we would just cross them out as we went. So here we have 34 take away 12. So the students would come over and they would just cross out like this 12 blocks, 1 10 and 2 1s. And then they would be left with 2 10s and 2 1s, or again 22. Looking at again the same problem, 32 minus 14. So here we have the same problem. They couldn't take away 4, so they decided that they want to take apart or decompose this 10. Now for this, they would do something. They would cross out that 10, and they even came up with the idea of drawing a little arrow off to the side, and then going and drawing or showing the 10s. I'm just pulling them over from the bank. And they would actually do this on their piece of paper, scratch paper or lined paper, whatever we're using. And there they go. They had their 10 1s. Now they traded it in or decomposed it. Now they're going to go through. Now they have enough 1s to take away. So they have to take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what they'll do. And then they'll come over and then take away 1 more 10. Again, being left with 1 10. And there are the 8 remaining blocks. So they total with 18, just like before. Here's an example that we did in class, 32 minus 18. You can see what the students have done. Here's another one that you saw with not regrouping. Here's one with regrouping again. They drew a little arrow off to the side and they filled them in. And then we came to a good discussion here about what do we do to show the difference. The struggle of our class was they were still thinking about this one that they regrouped, and they thought, oh, since I just had to take that one away, I've already done that. So a strategy that we came up with in class was that if we're going to decompose a 10, that we're going to put an X through it, draw the arrow, and show our 10s. If we're going to actually take something away, that we're going to use this squiggly line. And that's what we talked about today in the last week. Thank you. I hope this helps you and help your child.